What's up, Bestie Bees? It's your girl Desiree. Hey.
And it's your girl, my Lizzle.
And welcome back to the Beehive Podcast. Yay!
Okay, so what are we talking about
Yes,
today? I don't know.
today is Black History Month 2.0, Black Music Month, and Juneteenth coming up. So we kind of wanted to chit chat a little bit about how Beyonce herself has taught and showcased Black history, Black culture through her music, and also just to touch a little bit about our personal lives and how like what we learned about Black history growing up and now. So yeah, that's the
Okay,
topic for
yes.
today.
So, how are you feeling today? I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you. It's only
I
been like a couple
know
weeks.
it's been a long
But,
time, y'all. Yeah, we just like with our scheduling, usually we're like filming every Saturday, but we've kind of done like every other Saturday and everything. So it's been a minute since we've seen each other.
yeah.
So we're even catching up with one another. But how I'm feeling today, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling all right. I'm just like trying to maintain my mental sanity. It's just like,
Me every day.
yes. Right now, I feel like I'm in that season of like just maintaining, like, if I can just maintain, like, being motivated, everything, like, I'll be good. But I would say, oh, wait, were you asking me that, like, for my song of the day,
Yeah.
too? Okay, yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
I should have said it more
how are
clearly.
you
Like, how are
feeling
you
today?
feeling today?
I'm
How you
all like,
feeling?
I'm over
What
here,
song are you feeling
like, I'm over
like?
here getting into my personal life.
It's okay.
But with that, something that helped me cheer me up is always seeing family and going to see my nieces. And I bring that up because the song My Rose, I feel like it just, it's like a song that like I dedicate to my nieces. Especially the la 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 la
Aw.
la, I love
Wow, I
you.
love that.
It's like a little lullaby. I think it's well, I heard people say like it's a song dedicated to her son or
Okay. Oh
something, and
yeah, I
it does
think
sound
so.
like a lullaby. So just holding my nieces, like my youngest niece right now is 5 months, and she's just the cutest little thing, and
Oh.
she's a Capricorn like me, so I feel like we have like this connection already. And then my other nieces, who are 6 and 1, I'm just like, wow, like they're growing up, and
Mm.
I'm just like, I love you all so much, like, you know,
Oh, that's so sweet. I love
yeah.
that.
So that's how I'm feeling. But what about
Okay.
you?
Um, I I don't know what song I'm feeling like
Mm-hmm.
today. Um, but I guess if I go
Mm-hmm.
based off of my emotions right now, and because I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
that earlier, but maybe party.
We like to party.
Especially because I feel like seeing you now, and it's like I feel like I always appreciate the times we spend together. Like we always
Mm-hmm.
have a great time, and like we're talking about
Being in them
going
streets.
outside,
Being outside in
right?
the
So it's
summertime,
like
okay?
I want to get back to that. It's about to be
Me
summer,
too.
like, and I'm just excited to be outside in the sun and enjoying myself. So yeah,
Yes.
maybe party.
Yes, I need that vitamin D for real, like just
Yes.
to get you feeling good again. But I do love that song. It's a really like good summer anthem.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, but speaking of music, so for our topic today, we're talking about like Juneteenth, Black Music Month, which I didn't even know June was Black Music Month.
Mhm.
So that's something else I just learned about Black history. But something that I think, Beyonce is known for is showcasing that within her music, and even like with Lemonade, like touching about like her roots, where she
Yeah.
comes from, and Homecoming, like exposing people to like an HBCU, which I'm gonna get into later because like I didn't even know
Oh
stuff
wait,
about
you did tell
HBCUs.
me that. Yeah.
I thought there was one HBCU called HBCU.
Yeah, and you know what though? I'm pretty sure it's not just you that has had
It
that
can't just be
experience
me.
either. So, that's just like
Fourth grade, okay.
another example of like,
Mm-hmm.
what we're talking about today, just making
Yeah.
sure there's like another generation that knows about their culture and history, and
Yeah.
that's why that like the when we're gonna touch on homecoming too, like
Mm-hmm.
that's also so important because it's
Mm-hmm.
exposing children and like people, young adults, people that just don't know, period,
Yeah, even people
about
who
that
aren't
culture.
like black or just outside of black culture, so other people can
Exactly.
know of like, oh, like if they come across something like, oh, this is Juneteenth, and maybe explain it to their kids, of like what that is and everything. And even like with Black is King, I really like that movie. I feel like it just celebrates like black boyhood, I guess, in a
Hmm.
way, and everything. And she dedicated that to her son. So I was just thinking about that recently. I need to rewatch it
I
because I
did
really
too,
do like
actually.
it. Because some of the
It's been
songs
a
on
minute.
there, I'm just like slept on. A little bit
And the
slept on.
visuals,
The visuals giving every time. She looked good in
for
that.
sure, definitely. It
Um,
didn't get the appreciation
It
it
did
deserved.
not. I was like, dang, I don't know what y'all missing out on. But yeah, just I that's something I've always actually looked for when like listening to Beyonce. Like through her, I have learned a lot about black culture and just to be proud of my blackness. I would say
Hmm.
like being a fan of hers, I've definitely gotten that. Cause she was like my one of my first like representations of like black women outside of my family, um, and like someone I've always looked up to. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I love that. That's so important too.
yeah. So I'm curious, like, do you remember like the first time you heard about Juneteenth, or like did you learn about it as a
Hmm.
child, or was it like later on?
It was actually like my last year of high school.
Uh
After
huh.
graduation, actually, that very next summer, I went to go stay with family in Texas, and I was there for
Mhm.
like 2 months. And that is something that they really do celebrate in Texas. So
Mhm.
that was when I first got exposed to it. And I
Mhm.
think like around that same time is when it kind of started getting more hip out here in like
Yeah.
California, but out in Texas, it was something that they
Mhm.
did. So that was like my first exposure to it, and we kind of celebrated almost like how you celebrate like 4th of July, like you barbecue,
Mhm.
and we were just at my auntie's house, and when the food was done, everybody sat down and ate together, and
Mhm.
it was kind of giving me 4th of July vibes without the fireworks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Yeah. Well, for me, it was in college because I was taking all them Pan African classes I could get my hands on and joining BSU. And I forgot exactly how I learned about it, but I brought it up to my dad. He's like, "Oh yeah, me and my family used to do this growing up." And I'm like, "Why did you never tell me about this?" Like I never knew about Juneteenth until like my early 20s. Um, but then then I'm like starting looking for events, and they have like that Lamert Park event every year that I'm hoping I can go to because every year I'm either late or I get something gets mixed up and I end up not going.
Yeah.
But this or something happens like last year, and they shut it down. So please do not act a fool this year, y'all. Or I think this video is coming out after, but I please
Right.
can we just enjoy the day?
Everyone was supposed to see Jasmine Sullivan, but she didn't even
Right.
come out because of the
Dang.
ruckus that was being caused. I remember seeing
Mm-mm.
videos of like people on top of the Pizza Hut, like
Uh-huh.
on top of the roof of the
Oh,
building.
yes. I was like, y'all acting a mess. This is why we can't have nothing.
Man,
But
but
I hopefully this year, fingers crossed, it goes well because I really want to go out
yeah,
and just see because I just love black being
yeah.
around blackness,
And I love
you
that you
know.
make it a point to like go and celebrate that because that is a
Yeah.
huge part of history for
Mhm.
us. And the crazy part is that even after like slavery was supposed to be said and done, a lot of
Mhm.
people didn't know. So this is just a day
Yeah.
that like was chosen to celebrate that because it's a lot of people like slavery was illegal, but it still went on because people just
Yes.
weren't being told that they were free. And then it was
Mhm.
like you're free.
Uh-huh.
Now
Yes.
figure it out. So
Right.
that's something, and we're like, so sorry. I do get like a little passionate about this, but it's like
Uh-huh.
us being here today is like a
Uh-huh.
blessing because of what they had to
Mm.
experience. Like just being able to sit with you and like,
Yeah,
and
wow. That makes
knowing
me
they had to,
emotional.
yeah, knowing that they had to go through all of that. So That
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy that you are trying to figure out how to celebrate. But it's even just beautiful to see so many like celebrations happening
For
also.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing just that being carried on from like each generation to the next, you know. So I'm like, I definitely like whenever I have children or even like my nieces, like telling them about it. I because I make sure to tell them about Beyonce. I'm like, this is Beyonce. You're my niece. You're a fan, you know, by default. And everything like you have to
No,
be
seriously.
you're like by blood you are now part of the beehive, you know,
Yeah.
from birth. And then my brother's like, oh my gosh, girl, you're obsessed.
Literally, no, that's what you do. Like, especially with the babies.
I'll be showing
That's
pictures.
how,
This is Beyonce.
yes, that's how I'm gonna do my niece. So everybody that's about to have kids right now, like making
Yeah.
sure they know who Beyonce is.
No, for
Like,
real. And even like with just culturally, like, my niece who's 6, you know, I'm always like dropping little things here and there about like Black culture and everything. Because, well, she's one of my stepsisters. Wait, daughter. I get confused with like the whole wording.
it'd be like that
And
with
so
them.
she's half white. So my niece is half black, half white. And so I'm always like, you gotta like tap into your black side, you know? And because I don't want her growing up like not knowing anything or whatever. So, and she's curious. Like at this age, like she asks 1 million questions. So I don't know if I've mentioned Juneteenth to her yet. I think I have, but she was 5, so she might not remember. So yeah, just like teaching them about it. And I get so it's like actually really healing for me. I'm like, just because like being a like healing my inner child of like, man, like I wish I had an auntie like this to,
someone
you
that
know,
would tell you.
yeah, tell me about like all this stuff and everything. And which is why I looked up to Beyonce so much, because she was, I guess she was that for me, you know, that like inspiration and teacher and everything. But no, I don't know if so in high school did you learn it from school or no, from your family, right?
Yeah.
Because they
I
never
like
said
to say
anything
in
about
school.
this in school,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me because they teach us. That's the first thing they teach us. Y'all used to be slaves. Like first, when it comes to Black History Month, slavery. The first thing they start off with is slavery, and then Martin Luther King. No, slavery. Then Harry Tubman came, freed us all, and then Martin Luther King came and desegregated Rosa Parks, and now we're here, and now everyone's equal, and that's it. We don't learn about Juneteenth or any like inventors. You know, I'm keep finding out like, oh, you know, so and so invented this, invented that, and it was like Black inventors. Or like the first man. Like actually, I think the first man to ever step foot on the North Pole was a Black man. I believe his name is Matthew Henson, but back then he wasn't credited. It was who was credited? Richard Perry, which was a white man. I think he was credited because they went on together, but Matthew Henson made it before him. But I didn't even know about that until last year and everything. So just things like that, I'm just like, wow, we never, like, they really, like, hide. I don't know if they purposely, maybe they probably do, but, like, they don't touch on this at all, you know? Yeah.
No, seriously, it's like, even just because I have so many, like, everyone's still in school as far as, like, my nieces and nephews and stuff for the most part. And it's like, you really just can't rely on school to teach your kids. So that's so important that you're making it a point, like, this is Beyonce. They need to know who Beyonce is.
You gotta know who
Also,
Beyonce is.
like,
Come on now.
This is what Juneteenth is. This is, like, this is what they might tell you in school, but this is
Oh yeah, I'm always like looking here, like, and I work with kids, so I'm like, okay, they're not gonna teach you this in school.
Exactly.
Actually, have you seen Genius? MLK's X. It's like it's on Disney Plus, and it's not a documentary, but like a limited series about the personal lives of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Oh no.
It's like it really lets you see like not like their I guess like more of their personal
Okay,
lives.
not just like their activism.
Yeah, but who they were and their families and even like their wives
Oh wow.
and everything. Like,
I need to watch that.
yeah, it's really good. And I watched it with one of the kids I work with, and she's in middle school right now. And I did ask, we have conversations. I'm like, yeah, like, did you learn about this in school? She's like, no. I'm like, well, you're gonna learn today. So I'm like, when you go back to your like classes, let them know, like, well, actually, this was da da, or like tell them about, you can tell them about this series and everything. And she's part of her BSU. So, I'm like, yeah, and like now you have something to go back and like teach, your peers,
right.
about it, and maybe tell them about, the series, and they can learn about it too. So I just like how now we have more access to that stuff.
For sure. And these kids are going to be a lot more informed than like where we were, for sure. But
yeah.
So let's get into Homecoming. I think that's what we wanted to
Yes,
first.
Homecoming.
Yeah. I actually just watched that for the very first time last year.
Whoa. Oh my god, I watched it like every...
I always see clips, especially that like famous one with the dance move, with the I would get into the money. That clip.
Everybody, man. I know it. Get into the money.
Exactly. Like, I'm updated on all of that stuff as far as social media, but I had just never actually like sat and watched it. And so I think I told you I made my family watch it with me.
Oh, okay, I remember now. So
yes, and my mom ended up really loving it. And she's not even like the biggest Beyonce fan, but
really,
she really appreciated it because of the history that she was talking about.
Yes,
in the film, and I just love that too. So that was cool to experience, and then to be like a new Beyonce fan. Because if I would have watched it when it came out, like it would have been like I would have been inspired, but it hits different being like a fan now,
Oh yes, girl. When I remember that day, I was in my college dorm, and the first week was live on YouTube. So I had my little, like dinner, and I was just in my dorm room by myself and watched it on my laptop, and I'm like, wow, like this is history. Like it's probably one of the best Coachella performance ever. And I loved how she said, thank you for allowing me to be the first Black woman to headline Coachella. Ain't that about a bitch? I said, I know that's right. She had to let him know, like, it took y'all this long to have someone like myself headline. So that was like, even again, like making history while teaching history. Oh my god, this woman's mind is just amazing. Beyonce, amazing.
Yes,
you are our light.
Seriously. And I just have such an appreciation for her always using her platform to inform people on things like that. And like HBCU culture was something that people needed to be informed on. And I love that she like the dancers, so many of them, if they weren't there already, like went to HBCUs.
Yes, and how you saw all like different shapes. She made it a point of like shapes and sizes, of like just showing like Black people, like just we come in like different shades, body shapes, and everything, and we all have like something like unique to bring to the table, like performance wise, her dancers and everything. And dang, what was I gonna say after that? Coachella.
I hate when that happens.
Right. I thought it was really important to say, but it might come back to me later on. So I was gonna bring back again of like, I did not know that there was multiple HBCUs. I thought it was one college called HBCU and that was the HBCU. I did not know there was like Morehouse, Spelman, Howard. Actually no, I think I knew Howard, but I thought HBCU meant like Howard Black, like something. So I thought like that's what it's just one, and it's Howard Black College University. Like I thought that's what it was called. And so after that I just like look, I was like, wait, what is this? Like, it looks familiar. Like, I was familiar somewhat with like, you know, the band and like she had like the letters, like a sorority or like a frat. So I just looked into it more, and I'm like, wow, like a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was dating someone who was from New Orleans, and he knew all about like stuff like that more. Um, and so I just started learning more and more, and then I'm like, wow, I want to go to HBCU now.
Yeah.
And I kind of like envy people who have that experience of going to HBCU. I think just because living in California, there's one, but it's like a science math college.
Oh yeah, I think it's for like your doctorate degree.
Yeah,
Too.
so but there's none that you can go like for your bachelor's or anything, or have like that, you know, like after high school experience. It's usually like, well, more in the South. So it's not talked about a lot here, you know. It's usually like you either go to community college at Cal State, which for those who aren't from California, it's Cal States or California State Universities.
Yeah.
And then we have UCs, which are University California colleges. If that makes sense, I'm like, I wonder if that makes sense to people who aren't from here, because I forget that sometimes
no,
it doesn't.
Seriously, like things are different for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, there's no HBCU, so I feel like it's never like taught to us because it's not what's in our environment.
Yeah.
And like usually too, it's someone like that's in your family that kind of goes, and then they put you onto it. Like 8 people from the South have generations of family that have gone to these colleges, you know. So, but also too, like. when I found out about HBCUs, I was like maybe in my junior or beginning of my senior year, and by that time it's like there's certain other things that are like required. I feel like I wasn't real well prepped to like go when I found out about it either.
Aren't they private?
Universities,
like they're considered private.
I think some of them. I feel like there are a few state ones actually.
Oh, okay.
I went on an HBCU tour.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, my sophomore year of college. You had to like do an essay, and then the program I was in would like you would fly and travel with them for the HBCU tour, but it was in like the DMV.
Where'd you go?
So it was we went to Howard, we went to Hampton, we went to Norfolk, and if I'm correct, Norfolk might have been the state college. It was a few, because some of the cities were like Pennsylvania, we were in Maryland, we went to DC, we went to, I'm forgetting some of the exact parts, but I know we were in Maryland and Virginia a couple days, but it was a whole week long trip.
Jealous. But that sounds like amazing.
It was a cool experience, and it really just made me feel like wow, I like this is where I want to go. But I ended up just staying here because I love California.
That's the thing too. I'm like, if they would make a HBCU here, like for not just like the one we have, which is like you can't even get in unless you want your doctorates in that degree. But that's really cool that you found that, you know, because I think like people probably don't even know like those programs exist, again, because, or you have to do it yourself, like look for it, because no one comes to you and says like, hey, have you thought about going to HBCU, or, you know, this, or I don't know if did someone approach you about it, or you found it?
I remember I was like heavy on Tumblr. This is that kind of like that era.
Okay.
And I came across like this guy at a protest that was like talking about something, and like he had on this Howard University shirt, and it was like talking about what was going on, and I was like, wow, Howard University, like I never thought about going to a black college. And then they kind of just opened up that world for me of like
a whole new world.
Hella black colleges, actually.
Yes, and that's one of the things too, like when I thought about it, because I'm like, wait, I could probably still go to get like my master's. But my ex was telling me like, oh, you know, some of them are private, so that's going to cost a lot. And I was like, oh. So I looked into it a little bit, but then I'm like, I don't know if I even want to go back for my master's. That's a whole other thing.
I'm on the same boat as you,
but Yes, but I thought like it would be nice if I did to consider an HBCU, and just like price wise, I guess I got a little intimidated because I'm like, oh, it's private, so it's gonna be like a lot of money.
Yeah. Same.
And I don't know, but I'm like, if I had to spend the money, I would prefer to spend it at a black university, you know.
That experience too.
Yeah, that experience as well. And then it'd be cool, like to like, oh yeah, my mom went here, you know, whatever. And everything.
But I try to think about it too. It's like, okay, at least I know this for like my kids.
Yeah.
Back to how we were talking about like you telling like your niece like this is that like. Yeah, no, for sure. I feel the same way. But we have to get into Lemonade too, and her like really getting into her roots with Lemonade. And I feel like that's really when I got into like that New Orleans sound because of
during that time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what's the song on Lemonade? I'm blanking right now.
Formation?
Yes.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information. But yeah, I remember when Lemonade came out, it just made me more interested to learn more again about like, oh, what is this? Like Beyoncé, like, what did she say? My daddy Alabama, my mom Louisiana. You mix that Creole with that Negro, make a Texas Bama. I'm like, what is a Texas Bama? You know? And I remember when I went, because this dropped like our senior year before graduation. And so in college, there was a BSU event, like a panel of, they were talking about like, or kind of like dissecting the Lemonade album. And someone's like, do you guys like know what a Texas Bama is? And I was like, I don't actually. And like some other things they were saying about the like, just like their take on Lemonade and the message and everything, and even like the Formation rollout, like she did like the whole Black Panther tribute to the Super Bowl, and then the like the whatchamacallit, like the police protest in her Formation video, and everything, and even she even knew that it was gonna cause some conflict, so she had like that sign up like boycott Beyonce and Hold Up, I think that's the song she did it in, and everything. So
it was really like her era of like, I have something to say. She black, like, her black.
Oh, it's funny. Have you seen that SNL? Like, wait, Beyonce's black. Beyonce's black, you guys.
Literally. Like, she had something to say about that and where she was from and her roots, because she said, don't get it twisted, just because she's like a superstar. She's still this Southern girl. Yeah. And then even just the shit about her marriage and probably what people were saying too, like, don't get it twisted. But yeah, I love that. I love how she got really back into her roots, and we needed that at the time. But
yeah, like it was like perfect timing, because after that, like a lot of stuff started happening, like in the news and everything. And again, even like as it like I was really grateful for that, because like that's like right when I was like 18 and I was like, you know, becoming an adult and everything, and just you know, it was like, what am I trying to say, like it helped me just to understand my own experience as a Black woman of like, why am I being followed in a store, you know, or just like stuff like that, or just like these microaggressions, and then having places to go and talk about that and everything, really made me feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this, and like help me get through it, like navigate it, because I was like, what the hell, like people really think this way, or will say like certain things that I'm like as a kid or teenager, like it kind of like sometimes went over my head, but like as I get older, I'm like, wait, what do you mean by that, you know? Right. Well, we're wrapping up here in a little bit. I'm like, why do I feel so awkward? But with that being said, we want to hear from y'all and just your own experience with learning about Black history, Black culture, with things like Juneteenth, BHS, HBCUs. And even like when it comes to Beyonce, like what were you guys at in your life when Lemonade dropped or Black is King? What else was there?
Homecoming.
Homecoming. Oh my God, I can't believe I blanked out on that.
Okay.
Homecoming and everything. And let us know your thoughts of it. And, did it teach you about more about Black history? Even if you're not Black, was this a way for you to learn more about Black culture and Black history and yeah, just like from like your upbringing till now, can you relate to being in school and not being taught any of this until your later years or just at home?
Right.
And
let us know what you guys are doing to celebrate Juneteenth.
Yes, let us know.
It's nice outside. Are we barbecuing? Are we drinking? Like, what are the vibes like?
Yes, let us know in the comments because, again, I think this will come out after. So let us know what y'all did. Yes. Or if you have any traditions with your family, especially for the folks in the South. I don't know if y'all do things differently, maybe since, it's like originated.
They've been updated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know.
And you guys know where to find us. We're on Instagram, Twitter,
Threads,
YouTube, TikTok, and
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yes, period.
We everywhere.
And yes, thank you guys for tuning in.
Bye.